Hey guys, it's been a while since we visited, and I've been pretty busy here at the Slow and Rusty Garage on the evenings and weekends. Hope everyone's well. I wanted to shoot a video and discuss batteries with you guys, specifically lightweight batteries. Doesn't matter if you have something older or newer. In this case, I'm sitting in the front trunk of my 89 930. And if you have a early 60s long nose or a later twin turbo, batteries are something that's near and dear to all of us. And the performance of a battery at some point will affect our cars. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity right now to shoot a video and share my experience, especially on my 930 here. My wife and I were getting ready to go on a drive a few days ago, jumped in the car, battery was dead. Click, click, nothing. So I thought it was an opportune time to share some thoughts with you. I am a huge proponent and fan of these AGM batteries that are absorbed glass mesh. They're very lightweight. You can actually mount them in any angle whatsoever. Or orientation, and they will not leak. And I do not like the traditional lead acid batteries. That is such old technology, and not only are they heavy, they can really affect your car, especially as they get older. And even you buy a car like, say, this 911. These cars are now getting to the point where they're 50 plus years old, and you buy one, you pop the trunk, and you look at the battery area, and there's a bunch of corrosion from the sulfuric acid that would have leaked out from one of the cells over the years, or several of the cells over the years, and it's absolutely horrid to look at. And then a ton of work to cut that out, and then weld in or patch in some sheet metal in the battery area. So really, and also of course the weight, and maybe I just mentioned that, just the sheer weight of those massive 30 to 50 pound batteries. About let's see, 2004, I started playing with these AGM batteries. They were fairly new in the market back then. They were mostly designed for motorcycle application, and I started using them because I was driving, like I am today, turbocharged cars that had lower compression engines. I didn't need the cold cranking amps like some of the high compression, larger displacement engines. So I started experimenting with these batteries, actually in my 280ZX Turbo, with really good success. In 2006, I actually converted my 930 to the Odyssey PC680 battery, which you see here. I've been actually running this model and brand for the last 15 years. And I get really about 3 years out of them tops. And then they just don't crank the engine anymore, and then it's time to replace it with another one. So I've decided to transition away from these guys and go to a more common AGM. This is an ETX20. And this is available on Amazon. It's also available at any parts store. And so it's a lot more accessible and available than the Odyssey. The PC680, when I started using them back in 2005, these were $100 batteries. Today, you can actually get one of these in the $130 to $140 range. So the prices have really gone up. Whereas these ETX batteries are, this one actually, I get a discount at my local parts store, and out the door with taxes, this was 96 bucks. So quite a bit cheaper. And this one has 170 cold cranking amps. This has 310, so not quite twice, but close to twice the cold cranking amps. The amp hours are about the same, but the cold cranking amps are much higher, and of course the price is much lower. The cool thing is, the case design in both are nearly identical. So in the case of my 930 here, I'm running the Ren line PC680 battery kit. So this mount was made by Renline, excuse me, specifically for this battery. However, because the cases are nearly identical in size, I was able to install this battery in the Renline mount with very, very minor modifications to it. The modifications are I had to slot these 4 top holes, and really that was it. And then I had to bring the height of the battery up a little bit. Other than that, everything bolts in. It's nice and tight, and no issues there. Of course, you have to transfer out the terminals over. No problem there. But it's certainly a really good option if you run or have been running the PC680 and maybe you want to try something different. They're the same weight as well. In fact, this might be a little bit lighter if you really want to shave grams, but overall, like rounding it up to a pound weight, they're nearly identical in weight. So it's just really the performance and the price is why I've transitioned away from the Odyssey to the ETX. And I think you guys will be pleased with the performance. On my 944 Turbo, I've actually recently done the same thing where I used to run this guy and now I'm running the ETX20. So I hope that helps. I hope it's a good video for you guys. I haven't got to the point where I want to try a lithium battery. I'm still a bit on the fence. I know there's a lot of racers, a lot of guys out there running the lithium with great success. I'm going to really be delicate about my approach there. It's probably the next step for me, but I want to just kind of watch the market, the technologies and the improvements there before I go to really like 2-3 pound lithium. Ironically, I have a friend that works at Braille and can certainly get a lithium battery from Braille, which would be cool, but we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I'll continue running the AGM. This is a 14 pound battery without any issues. One thing that I do recommend is, you keep the battery in a tender. I run these Noco tenders. I'm a big fan of them. These cars don't get driven a ton, so it really just keeps the health of the battery up. It prevents them from deep cycling down and then charging them up. But at the same time, it prevents undue stress on your alternator if the battery should get to the point where it really is low on voltage when you crank it. Changing an alternator on a 911 is a big job. It's also an expensive job. So if you can help the battery by putting it on a $40 tender, please do so. Don't just let your car sit for months and months with it not connected to a tender.